Hello friends, hope you're doing great. Welcome to our channel. Today we'll talk about introduction to stock market. A quick disclaimer, for education purpose only, no investment and recommendation. Okay. And it's your money, so be careful. Today we'll cover three topics: introduction to stock market, basics of stock market, and stock market participants. Yep. Introduction to stock market, just an analogy, maybe a market where or a city where people buy and sell houses, an apartment, right? Okay. So stock market represents a vast network of buyers and seller. Buyer and seller like you and me. Okay. Maybe the retail investors or traders. And then we have institutional investors, big institutions and they may be foreign institutions or maybe domestic institutions. Okay. Then the purpose of these buyers and seller is to trade in or buy or sell stocks or maybe bonds or maybe ETFs or indices or currency. Any security which is related to finance is basically they are buying and selling. These securities can be traded either in an organized stock exchange like NSE and BSE. What is this organized and unorganized? Organized is all stock exchanges which are regulated by SEBI in India or SEC in New York. But unorganized stock exchanges, maybe though those are running in gray market like a dabba trading and others, but our focus is only on the organized sector side. And then they involve another entity that is an online broker like Zerodha, right? What this broker does is facilitate those transactions. Okay. I'll walk you through. So one first point comes, what is a stock market? It's just a market where buyers and sellers do come and they deal in or trade in stock markets. Deal in, trade in financial securities. Okay. Now in market, we have two segments. One is a primary market, and another is a secondary market. Take an example, right? When Mahada or DDA, Delhi Development Authority, when they come, they make few flats and then they sell those flats to the retail people. That is a primary market. They created a fresh stock and they went and sold that stock to the retail people. Same way, primary market is a market where companies do come, they list their company into the stock exchange, and then they say that, see, we want to sell our shareholding to the public at large. What is a benefit for them? That they receive money. And what is a benefit for we retail people? That we actually get a shareholding in the company. So if the company perform well, we'll also get benefit, we'll also grow with the company. Okay. So that's the primary market where I am going as a fresh user, fresh buyer, buy a new security. Now that comes in a form of basically like at a very maximum which is used is initial public offering. That may be a fresh issue. Company is bringing a new stocks, selling to the people at large. The other may be offer for sale. That is, maybe I am a founder and a promoter to the company, and I would like to take an exit, and I want to sell my stocks or sell my security. That may be that I just want to sell it partially 50%, or maybe I want to sell 100% and I want to take a retirement or whatever, maybe that is offer for sale. Right now, as a founder promoter, I can decide whether I want to do that sale to a strategic buyer or I want to go to public. Many time people go to public also and say 50% of that I'll sell to public and 50% I'll find a strategic buyer, whatever may be, but that's a offer for sale. Is it a new equity for public at large? It's a new equity, but for a founder or a promoter, he was already holding that share in his account. Now he is going ahead and selling it to public at large. Then comes a fixed price share. That means when I am raising an IPO, I am saying my stock is for 70 rupees. That is a fixed price. In advance, I fix the price when I am selling as a company. But the other is a book building. I'm sorry, the correction. So other is a book building. In book building, what happens? as a company, I come up with a lower range and a higher range of the stock, maybe 400 to 450. Like if you can relate it in Nifty, BSE and NSE, there is a new company came, True Alt Bioenergy IPO, which is recently launched in September 25. That company came with a price band of 472, that is a minimum range, and 496, that is a higher range, so people can bid for that. So that is a book building activity. Okay, so that's a primary market. Then comes a secondary market. Now secondary market is once you bought the share in IPO and you need money, maybe you go and sell that. Okay, or someone else bought it and now they need a money and they want to sell it, they go to secondary market. I mentioned it earlier also, for secondary market, exchanges where investors, traders can go and make the transaction, whether buy or sell. We have BSE, that is Bombay Stock Exchange. We have NSE, that is not National Stock Exchange. And then we have MCXN, which is dealing in metal and energy, the commodity. And then NCDX, again, a commodity. So we have two for commodities and two full scale exchanges. But what is the SEBI on the top in the image? SEBI is a regulator. They actually control the compliances. They provide the governance to these exchanges. So tomorrow, hopefully, if you would like to open your own exchange, where you go to SEBI, request for an application to open an exchange with all the compliances and everything. So SEBI is a controller. Okay. Now we go to the next slide. Now, who all are the participants in this stock market, right? So let's focus here that on the green part in the image, that's the regulator. They provide us the compliance and the governance. They bring the transparency in the system. Okay. Then comes the company who comes with a fresh security and take the money out. So basically what these companies doing, they offer us the security. We buy those securities, that is maybe a share, simple share. That means I am buying a share in a company, but at what cost? I have to give them money. That, like I gave an example of True Alt, no recommendation. So True Alt is receiving a money from us, but they True Alt is giving us shareholding, right? So that's what company does. Then comes your investors. Investors may be FIIs. You must have heard them a lot. So these are foreign institutional investor, maybe a retirement fund in Canada who is investing into Indian stock market, or DIIs, that domestic institutional investors. These are maybe LIC, maybe mutual funds, maybe other banks which are investing into the market, and then the retail investor like you and me who are investing into the market. So always understand that whether you're going into trading or investment, what you are fighting with, you're fighting with best of the brains in the world. So just be very conscious and careful, and very hard work, right? So there's a lot of learning you have to do during this period. Definitely the returns are more. Then comes the exchanges. I already talked about four exchanges: NSE, BSE, MCX, and NCDX. And then we have a brokers list of brokers, a full service broker who provide you three-in-one account end to end. These are generally banks like Kotak Bank, HDFC Bank, who provide this brokerage service end to end. They open the bank account, they open the trading account, and a demat account. What are these? We'll discuss this over the period of course. Then comes a discount broker like Zerodha. They just give you a demat and a broker account, and you actually transfer money from your other bank account to them. Okay, and then you make the transactions. And then you have a direct access. Brokers provide you the direct access to the market. Now, we talked about regulators, we talk about companies, we talk about investors. So let's have a quick introduction to those. First comes as a regulator, that is SEBI. Ensure the transparency, protect the investors. Because if you see this entire chain, who is the weakest link here is a retail investor. So SEBI always focuses on the retail investor, protect their right, promote fair trading practices. And then comes the Reserve Bank. Three things. One is monetary policy, and that actually becomes an event in the market, right? And then issuing the currency. And the third very important is overseeing the financial system. When there is huge money in the market, they try to reduce the flow. When there is a lesser money in the market, they try to pump up the flow. So RBI is working on these three, and they also control inflation. That's important, right? Then comes your company, they may be government institution, they be municipalities. And what they do, they issue the stock. I mentioned it a very high analogy, that stock, but they maybe issue a stock, they may be issuing a bond, they may be issuing any other financial security. What are these? We'll cover in the next lecture. Just treat them as some financial security they are coming up with. Purpose is sell you the security and take the money from you. Okay, and it is all under compliance of within SEBI and RBI. Then comes your entities, right? Investors and the trader. On the top, we are here, the retail investors, individual investor who buy and sell the security for personal account, right? Then your domestic institutional investors. I talked about it. Insurance companies may be there, pension funds may be there, mutual funds may be there. That is all domestic. Like mutual fund may be Invesco, HDFC, or any other, right? Then comes a foreign institutional investors. Their participation is very crucial to the market liquidity. Okay. Now the next entity, which is infrastructure provider, they are the backbone or the framework of this entire system. One is stock exchanges. They provide the platform, make the transaction happen in a very simple format. They actually facilitate buying and selling. They show you the rate on their online portal from where you can buy or sell. Then OTC markets, over the counter. You go to their counter and then you do the buy and sell. Earlier that was the channel, but now with the advancement of online system, it has reduced. And then you have your alternative trading system, maybe private trading platform that match the buyer and the seller. And they may be a consortium of few people working in a close setup, and then they do buying and selling. Okay. Now, who all are intermediaries? I already talked about. You've got brokers, you have got market makers, and you have got clearing houses. These brokers are facilitating the transaction. Talked about NSE, BSE. Market makers are the one who are sitting maybe a prop desk, or maybe a group of people who are actually providing liquidity to the market by buying and selling the stocks at any time. What they're doing is, that's a very funny thing also. What they're doing is, they buy because the cost to their buying and selling is very less. What they do is, for even 1 rupees, for even 10 paisa, they buy and sell the security, but the quantity is huge. So at the end of the day, they make a lot of money, but that's the market maker. Their purpose is just for 5 paisa, just for 10 paisa, they buy and sell the security. Okay. Then comes a clearing house. This ensures the smooth settlement. Once the trade happen, once the buy and sell happen from the retail investor side, they make sure the settlement is smooth. The buyer gets the security, the seller gets the money. That entire flow comes under the purview of clearing house. Then comes the service provider. India has several credit rating agencies that assess the credit worthiness of individual company and other entities. Very important. Here we have CRISIL, that is Credit Rating Information Service of India. Then we have ICRA, that is Investment Information and Credit Rating Agency. And then we have a CARE, that is Credit Analysis and Research Limited. All of them focusing on making sure that they provide a good rating. Why we require a rating? You know why we require a rating? Maybe you want to buy a corporate bond. But before even buying, you would like to know, okay, what is the health of this company I am investing in? So that rating comes from these entities. They provide, like, this is a triple A corporate bond, this is a triple B corporate bond, or maybe this is a double B corporate bond. This may be a double B minus corporate bond. So that's a rating which you get from these entities. Okay, now what is a work for you? See, we have actually started our course, and I would definitely love to see you people working and learning a lot. So what is a work for you? You have to go to NSE website, you have to go to BSE website, check for indices, then see what is stock, right? And what are the latest IPOs coming? And what you will find, there is a list of IPOs which are coming in, say, October itself or September, there were so many. So just see, and then see daily reports. What are daily reports NSE produces? And there are many, that bulk orders and all. I request you that you please share your feedback, course corrections, and also do like, share our channel. Thank you very much. Do subscribe. Thank you very much for today.